You beat the mayor, that's all you gotta do.
Mike just cleaned me out. You have nothing.
Stole everything.
You couldn't even leave a pen.
Yeah, he stole everything.
He's already answering my older.
He's answering all the questions on there.
No kidding. You can't.
I know.
I said it's probably over.
Yeah. Just chopping the bill. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to call the Common Council to order. I will ask our clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Tenorio.
Here.
Vitale.
Here.
Weigel.
Here.
Grisham.
Here.
Haas.
Here.
Keen.
Here.
Lysick.
Here.
Reinke.
Here.
Rote.
Here.
Stefanski.
Here.
10 present.
We have a quorum. Please rise if you are able and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led this evening by Alderman Tenorio.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Moving on to item D on our agenda this evening, we have 3 items for public hearing. I will ask the clerk to read public hearing number 1.
Resolution to approve the year 2021 operating plan for the downtown West Allis Business Improvement District and to adopt the special assessment method as stated therein.
Thank you. I'll turn it over to staff.
Mayor and members of the Common Council, tonight we are filling the annual requirement for the annual plan and the assessment rate for the downtown West Allis Business Improvement District. The bid is identified as 6 blocks in our downtown, and with the plan, we have a summary of accomplishments to date, the description of activities planned for 2021, and a proposed budget which helps to derive the special assessment rate. As identified here is the 6-block area of our downtown. It's shaped like a T. On the east side, it goes to up to MATC and then down to Orchard, and then it down Greenfield Avenue up to the alley through the downtown on Greenfield Avenue. The budget process starts with annual goal setting. Bid committees review and propose what their recommendations are for the year, and they submit that to the executive director who's present here tonight. And then the bid board submits an annual plan after adoption to the city, and it's here tonight for Common Council review and approval. This is the review of the 2021 budget for the Business Improvement District. It's divided up into various categories such as professional services, office and supporting services, design committee, organization, promotions, economic development, and then Main Street and assistance programs. The total budget for fiscal year 2021 is $135,300, minus or less bid dues, and as well as funds that are derived from the Downtown West Allis, Inc., which is a separate corporation, for a total levy of $105,300, which is a little bit lower than 2020's levy amount. The assessment value in the downtown over the last few years has been pretty steady in terms of the $18 million mark, with a small decrease for 2020. The assessment rate has generally been in the $5 range. It's 14 cents less than 2020, and it would be $5.59 per 1,000 of assessed value in the downtown business improvement district. The goals for 2021 are indicated in the plan include filling vacancies, hosting networking events, improving and defining the downtown West Allis image, through small, effective promotional events. They did a small food stroll earlier this year. They might do that again, historic walks. Of course, addressing their programs relative to COVID and continuing that in 2021 as necessary. And then expanding outreach for a winter week in the downtown and welcoming residents to our community and providing information about the businesses and shop small in our downtown. One of the big improvements in 2020, of course, is the mural program, which is not only in the downtown but near the downtown. And will continue in 2021 with their goal of more outdoor activities, art in the downtown and fire hydrants, electrical boxes and alleyways, and then working with the downtown and the city to help develop a quicker, faster process to invite businesses to start in our downtown. So those are some of their goals for 2021. I gladly answer any questions that you might have about the Business Improvement District's annual plan.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the Common Council? Hearing no questions from the Common Council, are there any questions from the members of the audience? Okay. Seeing none, then we will close our first public hearing.
Thank you.
And I will ask our clerk to read out public hearing number 2.
Resolution relative to determination of an application for a special use permit for Subway, a proposed restaurant to be located at 6736 West Greenfield Avenue.
Thank you. And I'll turn it over to staff when you're ready.
Thank you, Mayor, Common Council. My name's Tony Giron. I work as a city planner with Patrick and Steve. I have the honor to present 2 special use hearings tonight. This first item is a Subway franchise that is proposing to locate in 6736 West Greenfield Avenue. That is a part of the Town Center Plaza, which is northeast of the main intersection of 70th and Greenfield Avenue. It is zoned C3, community commercial, but since it's a restaurant, it requires a special use permit in any commercial zoning district. Its hours are Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. It's a fairly standard franchise setup where they have the kitchen and seating area. It will be within the commercial shopping center of Town Center Plaza, and per our parking code, they are required to have 9 parking spaces, but the Town Center parking more than meets that requirement. On September 23rd, Plan Commission recommended Common Council approval, and we have not received any objections to date.
Thank you for the presentation. Any questions from the Common Council? Hearing none, are there any questions from the members of the audience? Okay, hearing none, we will close public hearing number 2, and I will ask the clerk to read public hearing number 3.
Resolution relative to determination of an application for a special use permit for Qdoba to install a proposed drive-through at their existing restaurant located at 2831 South 108th Street.
Thank you. Mr. Guerrero?
Thank you, Mayor. So this special use is for Qdoba to install a drive-through. In observance of social distancing measures, they would like to add this drive-through as well as some queuing areas. So this is within the C4 Regional Commercial District, and the addition of the drive-through triggers a special use permit. So you'll see they have a counterclockwise direction of traffic around their building. They're going to add the pickup window on the bottom left corner of their building, as well as move the dumpster off to the side and add a few parking spaces for people to wait to get their meal delivered to their car window. The 0.4 acre lot has the just over 2,000 square foot building within it, and they will be resurfacing the entire parking lot, as well as adding a few more shrubs and grasses throughout the property. They are required to have 14 parking spots, and they will be providing 18. The exterior of the building will have a few upgrades. They're going to be painting it, as well as adding some thin brick. They will also be making some upgrades to the inside, adding some new finishes, fixtures, millwork, and upgrading their branding. And they'll also be upgrading their restrooms to meet ADA standards. Plan Commission recommended Common Council approve the special use on September 23rd, and we have not received any objections to date.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the Common Council on public hearing number 3?
Mayor Devine,
Alderman Weigel?
Tony, a quick question. Could you go back to that plan view? They have 14 spots and they're going to go to 18. No, back to like the overhead. Yeah. So how are they eliminating some green space, or how are they gaining 4 parking spaces? I guess.
They're moving to diagonal parking,
And that's more efficient.
yes,
Oh, okay.
and more efficient for their direction of travel that they want to do.
Yeah, because it's just one direction now, not two-way. It's
That's
probably
right.
never. Okay. Okay. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other questions from the members of the Common Council? Seeing none, are there any questions by the members of our audience? Seeing none, we will close public hearing number 3. We will move on to item E on our agendas. Citizen participation is the opportunity for the council to receive information from members of the public during this 30-minute period. If you do wish to speak, we ask that you approach the podium and give us your name and address for our official record and sign in before or after your comments. We ask that you keep your comments or your statements to no more than 5 minutes. Is there anybody that wishes to address the council under citizen participation? Oh, you can go. Yeah.
This is why you bring the paper back up, just in case your computer doesn't cooperate with you, right? So, my name is Jim Curlin. Thank you, Mayor Devine and Common Council members, for hearing us tonight. Special thanks to President Lasik for postponing the decision-making process on our request tonight. My wife and I fortunately had a false alarm with COVID. We both tested negative, but we didn't know just days before the last Common Council meeting, which is why he postponed our hearing. So, Alderman Haas, also thank you to you for being such a champion of our cause, and really thank you to all of you. I've spoken to all but 2 of you in the last couple of weeks, and I appreciate your support. So, before I go into what Beyond Vision is for everybody's review, let me just highlight what we are not. We are not affiliated with IBVI. We have a sister agency that has gotten some bad press of late, and they're only a sister organization in the sense that they have a similar mission, and we do participate along with 60 others, 65 actually, other completely independent nonprofit organizations across the country. We participate in something called the Ability One program, allowing us to to produce value-added services for products that the government consumes. So they participate in that, we participate in that, 65 independent nonprofits participate in that, all in the effort to create jobs for people who are blind. However, just to highlight again, we're a separate organization. About us then, Beyond Vision is a social enterprise, and we're about creating workforce development and career opportunities for people who are blind. We're not about making widgets, really. We're about creating that workforce development career paths for people who are legally or totally blind. And we do that all in an effort to counteract a 70% non-employment rate for Americans who are blind. It's a very sticky and stubborn statistic. It's just very difficult for them. So imagine we're all concerned about unemployment due to COVID right now, which is down to about 5.5% in the state. And we should be, but imagine being part of a group that's 70% unemployed. So why this location? Access to public transportation is the short answer. It's very vital to our blind employees. We believe the new special use request we're asking for, not a zoning request anymore, but a new special use, we believe it protects West Allis. The language is very intentionally, very narrowly defined to protect West Allis. We are a mixed-use operation. There's a mixture of very clearly commercial activities that will be in the building. There's a small amount, about 25% of the floor space, that will be considered light manufacturing per West Allis's definition of light manufacturing. And then there's some in the sort of gray area, things like packaging and labeling, which is, it's, what do we call it? Ultralight manufacturing, I'm not sure. It's in the gray area. But you know, the real point of all of that is we're not going to have any negative impact, only positive impact. Instead of a dark store and a blight to the community, the old Sam's Club, we're going to transform the property into great enhancement of West Allis. Most of the asphalt desert that's in front of it, the parking lot will be changed into green space, stormwater retention will be there, a walking path and scent garden that we intend to open to the public. There'll be no noxious emissions, no noise, nothing that's a negative impact, and our traffic is going to be just a fraction of what it was with Sam's Club or what it would be with another similar retailer. We believe it's about 5% what the Sam's Club traffic was for cars, for example. So why West Allis? We want to really create a win-win scenario with West Allis. We will make West Allis a better place. We're part of the glue. But I'd like to make a point and drive the point home. So people, and a couple of our employees are going to talk to you about this in a minute, but people who are blind tend to live and purchase near where they work. And it makes sense, right? Because they're dependent on walking and public transportation. So there's more than 12 employees that are already West Allis residents, but that number will go up dramatically over time because they tend to want to live near where they work and purchase near where they work because of their dependence on public transportation. So, and we believe that we estimate the economic impact to the community just for the construction portion to be $15 million and an ongoing due to the labor and jobs of $13 million, and that's likely conservative again because blind people tend to live where they work. We've been on record, and this was brought up during the Planning Commission meeting, so we felt it was okay to bring it up tonight. But we've been on record over a year ago of being agreeable to paying a pilot of 100% of the city's portion of the taxes. And hopefully by now you've been able to read the email I sent you yesterday with the support letters from Barry Mandel and 5 significant legislators. So tonight we're asking for your support. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Does anybody else wish to address the council under citizen participation this evening?
Hi, my name is Mary LaPointe. I live at 1327 South 90th Street with my husband Stuart here, that's with me. We have owned that property. In a couple weeks, it'll be 30 years. We've raised our kids there. They've graduated from West Allis schools. We have been active citizens in this community and will continue to be for many years to come. And what Beyond Vision has meant to me is, you know, when my kids were grown, I ran a daycare in the house when they were little, so I could be home with them. And then when they were teenagers, I wanted to get out into the workforce, get out of the home. So I went and got some, training with computers and stuff, learned some new skills, kind of did a little upgrade. So I went out and started looking for a job, and I go to all these companies, and, at first I'm shooting for things that I know I'm qualified for, and they're just, well, no, we're hiring somebody with experience. So I thought, you know what, let me just get a receptionist job. I just want a job. Then it was, no, you're overqualified. You're going to be bored. And I wanted to scream at these people. You don't know what bored is. You have no idea what it's like to sit home every day and want a job, any job, and nobody will give you a chance. So then I found Beyond Vision, and the doors were open, and it was a whole new life. It was a whole new opportunity for our family. It was a whole new source of revenue for this community because we were buying stuff we could now afford that we couldn't before. It was just, it was a whole new experience, a whole new opportunity. And I want more people to have that opportunity. I started out in entry-level position, and within a year was promoted to team lead. I've seen other people. Ruben, you're going to hear from in just a minute. He was under my tutelage and started out as an entry-level position in our customer care center and developed his skills, and now has been promoted to the purchasing department with a lot more responsibility. Beyond Vision is, we like to call it a runway. It's a place where people can land and keep a job, and it's also a people can land and develop new skills and take off on a whole new career path. And that's important to people that are blind or visually impaired, because not a lot of companies will offer that. They don't understand our needs. They don't understand that we can do anything any one of you in this room can do if you just give us the tools and you just give us the chance. And Beyond Vision does that. And we want to do it for more people. And we want to do it in this community because this community is full of great people. My neighbors love this idea. I talk to people. They love this idea. They welcome with open arms being able to provide jobs for people like us that are here. And so I want to thank you for your time and your attention and your consideration, and thank you for your support.
Thank you. Does anybody else wish to address the council under citizen participation?
Good evening. My name is Ruben Rodriguez, and I reside at 8617 West Greenfield Avenue. But before that, I lived in Oak Creek, Wisconsin, and it was kind of far from work. So when I found Beyond Vision, I was unemployed. I was happy to get the work, but the problem is I lived in Oak Creek, and my only option was to take a bus every day, an hour and a half there and an hour and a half back. Given that situation, I decided I wanted to sleep longer in the morning, so I decided to move closer to work, and I chose West Allis, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made, because when I did move here, my 1 hour and 30-minute bus ride turned into 25 minutes, which I'm sleeping a lot better now. So that's just my kind of brief story of my situation. But that situation gets repeated over and over again when it comes to the other employees at Beyond Vision. In my building alone, I moved in, and then another employee came all the way from Menominee, Michigan to work at Beyond Vision and moved to West Allis and is now a happy shopper at Pick and Save. And another coworker of mine has moved into my building, and he moved from Miami, Florida to work at Beyond Vision. And that situation is another one that is also repeated. We are a respected agency among our peers, our 65 agencies, as Jim stated. And because of that, because we do have their respect, we have people coming in all from Texas, Florida, even within the state, Appleton, Madison, coming to work with us. And we, once we move, when we move to West Allis, all of those people will be spending their money here, where I spend my money, where I shop at Target and Palace, because the food's good. And so I just wanted to thank you all for taking the consideration and for showing your support. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Does anybody else wish to address the council under citizen participation this evening? Okay, if there is nobody else, we will then close citizen participation. Citizen participation. Thank you, everybody. My mind is working faster than my mouth. Moving to item F, our standing committees will be meeting during recess this evening. Those room numbers are listed on page 2 of your agendas. Moving to item G, the mayor's report. Just one quick thing. I want to officially welcome the Gauge, which is our new event space. There was Alderman Weigel and I were at the ribbon cutting last Wednesday afternoon, and I believe they had they did have kind of an open house party that evening. A $2.5 million renovation to what was the Lakeland College building on 70th Street in the middle of that Cobalt redevelopment. And it will seat around 300 for dinner, but it can hold even more people if you want to just have kind of cocktails and appetizers there. So another great step and a great addition to the city, and watching that corridor continue to grow is going to be very exciting as we move forward. That is it for the mayor's report. Do we have any reports from our alderpersons? Hearing none.
Mayor Devine,
Alderman Lysick.
I move for approval of the minutes of the Common Council meeting of October 6th, 2020.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Are there any changes to the minutes? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. Item J, I'll ask for a motion to refer items 5 through 7 to the city attorney.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderperson Reinke, a second by Alderperson Keene. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Moving to item K, Alderman Road, I believe those will be read out with the
We'll read
balance
those out
after.
after the recess
Right.
meeting, yes.
Thank you very much.
Mayor Devine,
Alderman Lysick.
I move that we stand in recess until conclusion of the committee meetings.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are in recess.
All right, you ready? No, Tracy's still talking. That's all right, I'm going. All right, the Administration and Finance Committee will come to order, and we have one joint referral of item 12 with Administration and Finance and Public Works. Item 12 is a communication from the Public Works Director regarding the promotion of Don Mollison to Electrical Superintendent.
Move for approval and place on file.
Second.
We have a motion from Alderman Lysick and a second from Alderman Weigel. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 13, communication from the Public Works Director regarding promotion of Brett Wollenzine to Fleet Services Superintendent.
Motion approved.
We have a motion from Alderwoman Keene and a second from Alderman Lysick. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 14, an ordinance to amend the City of West Allis salary schedule due to the 2020 adopted budget.
I move for approval.
Second.
A motion from Alderman Lysick and a second from Alderman Tenorio. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 15, a resolution to approve the implementation of a pay increase for non-represented employees pursuant to the 2020 adopted budget.
Motion
move-
approved.
Second.
We have a motion from Alderwoman Keene, a second from Alderman Lysick. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 16, resolution to consider purchase of one additional kiosk and service agreement support for the City Hall customer service, Dynatouch Interactive Technologies.
Move for approval.
Second.
A motion from Alderman Tenorio and a second from Alderman Weigel. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Alderman Weigel.
so this software support, is that for a year? And I'm just wondering what, do we know? Is that an annual, how much of that is the software, or is it a one-time license fee?
Patrick, do you,
The kiosk?
yeah, do you have a question about the software?
I'm just wondering how much of this price is the hardware versus the software? And I'm sorry, service agreement to support to support it.
The service agreement is around $12,000.
Okay. So we can expect to see that every year going forward?
It's for 2 years.
It's
the
for 2
service.
years?
Yeah,
Okay,
so
okay.
$6,000 a year.
Okay.
But after that, we should be up and running and we should be good.
The kinks out of it?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, and I already forgot, do we have a motion?
Yeah, you did.
We do, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. And item 17, a communication from the Health Commissioner regarding the request to fill a public health nurse position.
Move for approval.
Second.
A motion from Alderman Lysick and a second from Alderman Weigel. Any discussion? Should we bring Bob up here just to ask questions? I don't think it's necessary. Yeah, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 18, a communication from the Director of Public Works to approve an exception to the hiring freeze and grant permission to fill 6 vacancies.
Motion approved.
Second.
A motion from Alderwoman Keene and a second from Alderman Lysick. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. And item 19, Finance Director, Comptroller submitting report for September 2020. Can I have a motion to place that on file?
So move. Second.
And we have a motion from Alderman Lysick and a second from Alderman Tenorio. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. And item 20 will hold unless we feel like acting on the budget
Move
right
approval?
now. Yeah, right.
As amended, as
We have
amended.
a public hearing. Ms. Grill has indicated, thank you, we have a public hearing coming up in our November meeting. And item 21 is a notice of claim by Joshua Miranda regarding injuries and property damages. And we have a closed session notice on that, so I'm going to hold on to 21. I want to address the remainder of the items on our agenda, and then we'll come back to 21 if no one has any objection. Even though Cale's all ready to go, I'll let you sit down for a second, Cale.
Very good.
Okay. So yeah, can I have a motion to approve the city attorney claim report as recommended in the agenda? So that is for items 22 through 30.
So moved.
Second.
A motion from Alderwoman Keene and a second from Alderman Lysick. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair?
And yes, well, first Alderman Weigel and then City Attorney Decker.
I think item 24, at least in my copy, has a typo. The real estate taxes weren't improved for the year of 2019. They should have been, I assume, levied or assessed. that correct?
It might have meant imposed or something along
Imposed,
those
there we go,
lines.
okay, okay.
Yeah, I think as long as we understand
No, yeah,
what the intent is, I think I'm okay with approving, even if it's improved.
improve, improve.
Yep. And Attorney Decker.
Mr. Chair, for items 22 through 30, that's all finalizing certain litigation through settlement or dismissal. Did want to call the committee's attention to items 22, 23, and 24. Those are all related to assessment cases that were filed against the city from the 2019 revaluation. You'll recall the council put a fair amount of money into conducting that entire commercial revaluation of the city. It gave us a lot of good facts and information to defend those values. And so those three cases are actually dismissals by the plaintiffs. The city didn't have to file a dismissal on it. They just simply dismiss it because they realized the facts were not going to play out. So I just want to say that the investment the city made a couple of years ago for that revaluation paid off in these three cases, and has actually paid off in a few other cases as well. So I just wanted to call the committee's attention to that, that the quality of that data was a big factor in those dismissals.
And well done by the city attorney's office as well. Okay, so any further discussion for items 22 through 30? Can I have a motion to approve as indicated in the agenda? We have that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you, Alderman Lysick. And item 31 is our public hearing item, a resolution to approve the year 2021 operating plan for downtown West Allis Business Improvement
Move
District.
approval.
A motion from Alderman Weigel and a second from Alderman Tenorio. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. All right.
Chair,
Yes, Attorney Decker.
is it the committee's intention to go back to number 21 at this time?
Yes,
I
that's
can-
my intention, unless there's a thought that we could do
Safety and development.
safety and development, and then come back to it once all the committee, that would be the easiest
I
thing
think
for
that's what we should do.
everyone, for our audience, as far as escorting everyone out, bringing everyone back in.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
if I may,
Yes,
I'm not sure if a closed session is necessary. It was posted on this agenda to give the committee the option. So I can give you a preview quickly of what was publicly noticed, and that there was a settlement amount of $13,500 proposed for this case. If the committee wants to hear details and more about the litigation, I'm happy to do that in closed session. But if that number, the claim was for a car accident in which this individual was a driver of a vehicle that was rear-ended by one of our vehicles. Those are the factual situation that we're in. If you want to hear more about the legal side of it, I can do it in closed session, but if that's sufficient for the committee, you can take action on it at this time as well. However you'd like to proceed.
and
I move for approval of the claim.
a motion from Alderman Lysick,
Second.
second from Alderman Weigel. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you, Cale. All right, and so that is the end of our administration and finance agenda. Is there anything else
We
to
adjourn.
properly come before the Administration and Finance Committee? No, we have a motion to adjourn.
Second.
And a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
The Safety and Development Committee will come to order. All members of the committee are present. First item on the agenda is an ordinance to adopt parking restrictions on the east side of the south 120 feet of 1700 block of South 84th Street.
I move approval.
Second.
Been moved by Alderman Haas, seconded by Alderman Weigel. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Alderman
just for
Weigel.
everyone's edification, this is the 84th Street side, and item 35 is a parallel ordinance regarding the National Avenue side of our skate park.
Skate park, yeah.
What this does is convert the already no parking areas into no stopping, no standing, no waiting tow-away zones. With the ample free time that our citizens have had this summer with the COVID restrictions on recreational activities, the skate park was very, very busy. And one of the complaints that we were getting was people loitering with vehicles in the no parking areas, and then people would come out and chit-chat with them and all that. So this is just another tool for our officers to keep the area clear. And so we're not losing any parking spaces. This just gives them a better enforcement tool, creating it no stopping, no standing, no waiting by our skate park.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Item 35 is the ordinance to adopt parking restrictions on the north side of the west 140 feet of...
Second.
300. Been moved by Alderman Haas, seconded by Alderman Weigel. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Item 36 on your agenda is an ordinance to make training, counseling, or workforce development facilities operated by a not-for-profit social service organization for the purpose of enabling job and career opportunities to persons with sensory or physical disabilities as a special use in the C3 district.
Move approval.
Second.
It's been moved by Alderman Weigel for approval, seconded by Alderman Haas. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chair?
Alderman Weigel.
You may note that the Plan Commission recommended denial. I don't know how many of you had a chance to watch the Plan Commission meeting. I did speak to one or two of the Plan Commission members afterwards, and I think they wanted to leave this in our hands. It's not that they were against the change. They just, I think the idea was that this was something that deserved a vote from the council, because it's kind of a policy issue. Obviously, this doesn't change the taxability of the property or anything as it is, because the purchase has already gone through. And I think they'll be a very good fit for the community for the reasons we saw tonight and as we've been seen in the past for this, so.
And Mr. Chair?
Alderman Haas.
Yeah, and also, just to give a little more background for everybody, what this allows Beyond Vision to do and us to do is to allow them to do their light, very light manufacturing in that former Sam's Club dark store blighted building. And then we don't run the risk of 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now down the road if the change to manufacturing of a concrete plant, a drop forge, or other nuisance type manufacturing property coming in. This is very narrowly tailored to affect and properly so to affect Beyond Vision and other nonprofits like it.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Item 37 on your agenda is a resolution relative to determination of an application for special use for Subway that we had the hearing on tonight, 6736 West Greenfield.
Move approval.
Second.
Been moved by Alderman Weigel, seconded by Alderman Haas. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Item 38 on your agenda is a resolution relative to determination of an application for special use permit by Qdoba for a drive-through at their existing restaurant at 2831 South 108th Street.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been moved by Alderwoman Keene, seconded by Alderman Weigel. Any discussion?
Tenorio.
Oh, Tenorio, I'm sorry. Hard to tell who's speaking with the masks and these things on. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Is there anything else that can come before the committee?
Move we adjourn.
Second.
Second.
Been moving and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
All right. I'll return the
That's
gavel.
all.
We'll call the common council back to order. I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Tenorio.
Here.
Vitale.
Here.
Weigel.
Here.
Grisham.
Here.
Haas.
Here.
Keen.
Here.
Lysick.
Here.
Ranky.
Here.
Rote.
Here.
Stefanski.
Here.
10 present.
We have a quorum. We will begin with the Administration and Finance Committee, which is chaired by Alderman Haas. I will ask the clerk to read out that report.
The Administration and Finance Committee recommended the following: approve and place on file of items 12 and 13, adopting item 14, approving item 15, 16, approving and placing on file item 17 and 18, placing on file item 19, approving item 21, 20, and 22, approve item 21, and then for items 22 through 30, those were approved as recommended, and then item 31 was recommended for approval.
I move for approval of the committee report.
Second.
No more seconds, Alderman Weigel.
It was my turn. My turn.
Unbelievable. We're keeping tabs on those.
Good job, Alderman.
We have a motion to approve. Is there any discussion on the A&F report? Seeing the hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Tenorio.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Grisham.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
Keen.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
Ranky.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Stefanski.
Aye.
10 in favor, 0 opposed.
Motion carries. Next up, we have the Public Works Committee. I will ask the clerk to read out that report.
The Public Works Committee recommended the following: approval or adoption of items 8, 9, and 10, and approval and place on file of items 11, 12, and 13, and adopting items 32 and 33.
I move in accordance of the committee report.
Thank you, Alderman Road. Is there any discussion on the Public Works Committee report? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Tenorio.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Grisham.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
Keen.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
Ranky.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Stefanski.
Aye.
10 in favor.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next up, we have the Safety and Development Committee. I'll ask our clerk to read that out.
Item 36 will be read out separately.
Okay.
The Safety and Development Committee recommended the following: adoption of items 34 and 35 and approval of items 37 and 38.
I move for adoption of the committee report.
Thank you, Alderman Lysick. Is there any discussion on items 34, 35, 37, or 38? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Tenorio.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Grisham.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
Keen.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
Ranky.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Stefanski.
Aye.
10 in favor, 0 opposed.
Motion carries.
And the Safety and Development Committee recommended adoption of item number 36.
I move for approval of item 36.
Okay, is there any discussion on item 36? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson.
Mayor Devine.
Oh, I'm sorry, Alderperson.
Discussion.
Alderperson Ranky, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor Devine. Mayor Devine has given us permission to remove our masks when we're speaking, as long as we put them back on. Okay, I can appreciate what Mr. Kerwin is trying to accomplish with respect to his organization. However, these 3 reasons are why I chose to give the proposal my careful consideration. Number 1, the overriding factor is that the Planning Commission Committee has recommended denial, concluding that the light manufacturing activities would not be classified as an instructional or training under the current C3 district. The council looks to the Planning Commission for input and their wise advice from its members, and they have served us well. Number 2, the building that formerly housed Sam's Club is considered prime real estate within its zoning. Because of the status of being nonprofit, I am unwilling to further burden the citizens of West Allis to shoulder the tax responsibility, especially during this time of the COVID crisis. Our citizens are having great difficulties maintaining their own obligations as it is. Number 3, in previous dealings with this nonprofit, Mr. Kerwin and the city of West Allis, an agreed obligation was not met. A promise was made, however, the promise was not kept. For these reasons, I will respectively be voting against the proposal. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion?
Mayor Devine?
Alderman Weigel.
I know that Alderperson Reinke wasn't in the Safety and Development meeting when we talked about this, but I did mention the fact that in my conversation with members of the Plan Commission, their reason, at least the members I spoke to, their reason for denial was they thought it was enough of a policy question that it should come to us. Okay, so at least the members that I spoke to, they were not against this use or this change. We're not changing the zoning, we're just changing the definition of what happens in this zoning district. Also, on the nonprofit status, they've already bought in the building. It belongs to them. And when it's used for its nonprofit use, it will be tax exempt. So a no vote on this will not be getting the taxpayers any more money. So I just wanted to clarify that for you. It seemed like maybe you didn't quite understand some of the finer points of this discussion. So thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Weigel. Is there any other discussion on item 36? Hearing none, I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Tenorio.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Grisham.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
Keen.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
Reinke.
No.
Rote.
No.
Stefanski.
No.
7 in favor, 3 opposed.
Motion carries. That concludes Safety and Development. We will now go on to License and Health, chaired by Alderman Vitale. I will ask the clerk to read out that report.
The License and Health Committee recommended the following. Item number 39 was approved as amended, changing the end date from October 31st, 2021 to June 1st, 2021. Denial of item 40 and approval of item 41 and 42.
Mr. Mayor, I should move in accordance with the committee report.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Is there any discussion on the License and Health Committee report? Seeing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We do not have an advisory committee report this evening. We're giving Alderperson Reinke the night off.
Mayor Devine,
Thank you,
Alderman.
Mayor Devine.
Alderman Lysick.
I move that we adjourn until our next meeting, which is scheduled for Wednesday, November 4th at 7 p.m.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in
again.
favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
Gotcha.